Well, how about this? Jeff Gordon has won his third race of 2014. Getting to the race today, Jeff Burton driving the 14 car, filling in for Tony Stewart, who opted to sit out the race in the aftermath of last weekend's tragedy. 77 here. Jimmy Johnson with a broken gear shifter, having to use vice grips to try and shift the car to pick it back up to speed. He'd fall all the way back to a respectable 9th place finish. Lap 82, Jeff Burton pits, says he has an electrical smell inside the car. Eventually saw smoke. Burton wouldn't get back onto the track, but finished 24 laps down. 97, Kyle Larson's chase. Hopes take a hit literally as he blows a tire on the outside wall and it catches on fire. He was okay. Had to get out of the car there, though, after NASCAR comes down with some stricter rules, but rightfully so. On a restart, Jeff Gordon gets into the inside of Joey Logano and takes Gordon to the lead. Then on the final lap, it's Gordon taking the 91st win of his Cup Series career and 3rd of the season. Congratulations to him. Well, the South Alabama Jaguars just 3 weeks away from opening against Kent State in Ohio, taking to the practice field yesterday morning, but this time not at South Alabama. The Jags headed down Old Shell Road to St. Paul's for a scrimmage. This is part of Coach Jones's plan to acclimate the players to different atmospheres when they travel to away games. He said yesterday was not about the way the teams played against each other. It was all about individual performances when it all came down to it.
Bottom line, what we needed to do was come over here to St. Paul's, come to a different atmosphere, get our kids used to playing on a different field. And I think that's ultra important. If we can do that and go to Kent State and go on the road to South Carolina and experience these things before we get into the season, next week we're going to Fairhope. And so we're going to try to get our guys used to being on a different field and not getting used to our own field.
South Alabama opens with Kent State in Ohio on September the 6th. And the first home game for the Jags will be 1 week later on September the 13th against SEC opponent Mississippi State. Be ready for those cowbells. The Alabama Crimson Tide and the Auburn Tigers, 2 schools in Alabama ranked in the top 10 in AP's college football ranking. Bama in at number 2 and the Tigers at 6. Down the line, 6 more SEC schools in the top 25, including South Carolina at 9, Georgia coming in at 12, followed by LSU at 13, Ole Miss 18, and the 2 newest teams to the conference, Texas A&M at 21, and at number 24, Missouri. Well, the Mobile BayBears took on the Mississippi Braves tonight at the Hank. Despite the rain earlier in the day, it held off and then moved out. The Braves taking this one from the boys in blue tonight. Ooh, man, 6-0. Well, the Mobile BayBears have a new general manager. His name is Chris Morgan, and he's no stranger to Mobile. In fact, he's been here since 1996, where he began as the first community relations manager with the ball club. He later moved to work with the Senior Bowl, where he's been ever since. Well, now he's back and ready to get to work, and as a matter of fact, he's already working both on and off the field as being hands-on as he can get. Today, he told me about being back, talked about attendance at the Hank and what it means to win championships, something the BayBears know all too well about. Here's Chris Morgan in his own words.
Had I not started with the BayBears back in '96, prior to that first season, '97, I doubt I would have ever had an interest in this job. But being there and being around minor league baseball, and it stayed with me throughout my entire 16 years with the Reese's Senior Bowl. It's just one of those things that never left. I wanted to get back in minor league baseball, had opportunities here and there, but they would have taken me out of Mobile. My wife and 2 daughters they've established firm roots here, so really moving wasn't an option. Right around the beginning of the season, previous leadership, Bill Shanahan, who was here from day one, decided to move back to Columbia, South Carolina, and I had discussions with the ownership group about this position, and the more we talked, the more excited I became about it. And to be back in Hank Aaron Stadium where it started back in '96 is, again, words really can't express how excited I am to be here. In minor league baseball, on-field success or even on-field failure doesn't necessarily equate to fan support. This is one of the best teams in minor league baseball. They've had a run that you rarely see, winning 2 of the last 3 championships, winning the first half, on pace to win the second half, going into the playoffs with a ton of momentum. You have to sustain everything that you did to get those fans out here in the first place. And those first couple of seasons, we were everywhere. We were very active in the community, very active with the media, and that's what we've got to get back to doing. We've got to treat everything moving towards the 2015 season as if we're back in '97 again, prior to that season, getting ready. And that's what we're going to do. I mean, Michael, we have a lot of hard work ahead of us. We know that. It sounds very simple to say we just got to work hard and go out and really talk the BayBears up, and people will start flocking to Hank Aaron Stadium again. I wish it were that simple, but trust me, we're going to be out there in the community as hard as we've ever been, probably even more so than we were back in '96 prior to that first season. If you're a true baseball fan and you want to see some great baseball at the AA level, there's not many places better to see it than Hank Aaron Stadium.
Well, in case you missed it earlier in the show, tonight, Mr. Chris Morgan took the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. There he is. He challenged the Senior Bowl staff to return the favor. Others from around the area doing the same challenge, too. At the University of South Alabama, drum major Rebecca Mitchell of the Jaguar Marching Band and Dr. Will Peterson, director of the JMB, taking this challenge last week in front of the entire band at practice. How fun is that? And perhaps the best ice bucket challenge I've seen so far, Dr. Joel Erdman, director of athletics at the University of South Alabama, not just taking one bucket, but 17. 17. I can't believe it. Each one representing each one of South Alabama's sports. Take a look at this.
I'm going to take 17 buckets of ice water, recognizing all 17 of our sports here at the University of South Alabama. So here we go. Hurry up!
I mean, I think there was real ice in that those buckets.
No, they were all filled with ice. I cannot believe that. 17. No. One looks bad enough, but 17?
At least it was August.
Yeah, at least it was August.
It probably felt like, well, I needed that.
Yeah,
but
if this was happening in December, people would be not so
Dead?
happy about
no,
it.
No, but you know what? I have a feeling if this continues, it'll go into September, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of these videos.
That's right. Well, thank